What is up, everyone? It's David. Welcome back to Gem and MTG, where we talk about graded Magic the Gathering cards. So today is an awesome day. I have a great addition to my collection. It is another copy of Zirlin of the Claw. These are the three copies that I have currently. BGS 9, 9.5, and then a CGC 9.5. So these two I graded myself. This I purchased on eBay. I absolutely love Zirlin of the Claw. I think it's still an underrated, undervalued card. I've been talking about this card for a while. I love the set Mirage, and this is just kind of one of my pet cards, one of my favorite cards. I've been collecting it for a while. I've done videos about it before, but today's a very special day because I have an addition to this collection that I just got. I picked this card up off of Facebook. There was a really big collector who was getting rid of some cards, and he made a post about cards that he wanted to sell, and in that post was this. Get it out of the sleeve here. This is a BGS 9.5 Quad Plus Zirlin of the Claw. This is the #1 graded Zirlin in the world. It is absolutely beautiful. It is like a flawless card. And I picked it up for, I think, a steal. I got this for $125. I thought, I couldn't believe it. That's what he was asking for. And to be honest, like if this is not a, one of your favorite cards, or you really like this card or something, I can see why, he thinks that's a good price. The card didn't really mean much to him as a, bigger collector who has, much more expensive, higher end cards. This, to him, this was just a Mirage rare, in 9.5 condition. But to me, this is just so much more than that. This is one of my favorite cards. It's the number one graded one in the world. It's the only one that has a 10 subgrade. This has a 10 on the surface, which, as we just found out, is the most important subgrade to people. But it's just an awesome card. And I think, oftentimes one of the hurdles to getting into graded cards or even finding graded cards is, the prices have gone up a lot, and cards in general are expensive. But, to me, I think I got a great deal, an absolutely great deal. And I'm just so excited to share it with you. I love this card. And I definitely would like to hear if you watching have a pet card. Do you have a certain card that you like to collect, raw or graded? Maybe a card that you've speculated on, or a card that you have multiple copies of, graded or raw, something like that. Something that really speaks to you for whatever reason. I would definitely like to hear about it in the comments section. And also, if you're watching me talk about the #1 Zirlin of the Claw in the world and you're not already a subscriber here on Gem and MTG, hit that subscribe button and join in the fun, because I'm going to be talking about graded cards like this all the time. And another thing on just Zirlin and cards like this is there's a lot of people who are into collecting reserve list cards. This is a card that's on the reserve list. But one of the things that I always talk about on this channel, and I recommend to everybody, is if you're going to collect reserve list cards or speculate on reserve list cards, you got to stick to cards that have relevance, playability, or collectability in some way. Going after tons and tons of copies of irrelevant cards that have no place in the game, I personally do not advocate doing that. But a card like this, look at this ability. 5 to cast, 3/4, tap 3 and tap it, 1 colorless, 2 red. Search your library for any dragon card and put it into play. It gets haste, and then you have to remove it from the game at the end of the turn, or sacrifice it, or blink it, or anything. It's such a powerful card, and Wizards is always printing dragons. In Adventures in Forgotten Realms, Dominaria United, it's like every set that comes out has more and more amazing dragons that are really playable in EDH. And a card like this can just do so much work in a deck like that. Bringing out any of your most powerful dragons every turn, it's an awesome card. It's reserved list. It's from, what I think is a really undervalued set, and it's got a great ability. So that is why I'm so high on Zerlin of the Claw and cards like this, because it's relevant, and I think you should really stick to cards like that if you're going to collect reserved list cards. So with that out of the way, there is my updated collection of Zerlin of the Claw. I now have a graded playset. One is CGC, and we have a 9, 9.5, and a 9.5 Quad Plus. Absolutely awesome. And it just goes to show you, sometimes you can find a really good deal if you keep your eyes open, because one whale's trash can be another Timmy's treasure. Like this to me this is one of my top cards that I got this year. Easily. This is one of my top cards that I got this year. It's not one of the most expensive cards that I got this year. At 125, that's really, not that much for a graded card. But this card means just so much more to me than $125 dollars. I think it was a fantastic price, and I think it really, really added to my Zerlin of the Claw collection. I'm pretty sure I have more graded copies than anyone, because the pop isn't that big on this card. I think there's only about 10 graded on BGS, and I'm not sure about CGC, but I thought the CGC was a cool addition to the collection. I'd like to get a PSA as well, so I've been trying to keep my eye out for a PSA 10 or a PSA 9 Zerlin. So I'm going to keep my eye out for that. But I absolutely love this card. I'd love to hear about if you have any pet cards or anything like that you maybe have a few copies of, kind of card that speaks to you. But anyway, that's it for today. Awesome addition to the collection. Keep your eye out for deals. And if you're not already on the Graded Magic the Gathering Facebook groups, I highly recommend you join those groups. There's a link to them. The two that I am on, there's a link to it in the description of my videos. And I think it's a great community of people who are into graded cards. And if you enjoy stuff like this, I would definitely hop on there, because you can find great deals. You can sell cards, trade cards, or just talk about cards and see other people's collections. So, all right, that's it for today. Till the next time, have a great one.